They say the definition of insanity is banging your head in the same spot in the wall over and over, expecting a different result. Or as I like to call it, episode 35 of New Job, Who Dis? Happy Friday, one and all. Ladies and gentlemen, lovers, squeezes, and lover cheeses. Welcome back to another episode of New Job, Who Dis? An exploration of time, space, jobs, careers, paths, dreams, failures. I'm just going to list them like a grocery list. All of those things coming from yours truly, your exquisite host, Halston, Boddy, current pro wrestling manager of Heather Monroe, the Queen of Hollywood, at Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, and United Wrestling Network's Prime Time Live as well. Please check it out on the Fight TV network. And the app as well. You can find it on CW30 Wrestling on YouTube. You can look for Championship Wrestling from Hollywood all over the Fight TV app and on YouTube and social media as well. But you're here for one reason and one reason only. You've come back, my 11 listeners. I know who you are. I'm starting to collect names, and I know you're one of them. Thank you for coming back and carrying on with this journey of jobs and hatred. Realistically, if you are new here, I welcome you. Thank you for joining me for part 35 of this tale of misery and woe, but so many highlights, so many high points and lessons, perspectives that I can give you as a human being that hopefully you can soak in and just take in and realize, hey, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe there is hope. Maybe there is a light at the end of the tunnel when I'm feeling at my worst, when I feel like what I signed up to do in life or what I'm choosing to do in my path doesn't seem like a good thing to do. Like it's not where you need to be. Or maybe you need to be there just to get out of it and take those lessons with you. Whatever the reason you're here, we are here to give you some hope and perspective because I feel like I've been through enough ringers and I've been through enough that I want to share it. I want to share these experiences because it's just one of those things that life happens and you have to somehow get through it. And we're going to focus in on jobs and working and being the working stiff that I was. Where did we leave off? I always got to recap you, get you back right where we left you on Monday. I was working for the Hard Rock Cafe on Hollywood Boulevard. Oh, a dream job for some. And it started off as a job that changed my perspective. I walked into that job thinking this is where I need to be. I shook off whatever bitterness and anger or whatever I had in my back pocket of past job history, of past people history, of loss, of despair and uncertainty. And I said, you know what? Shine yourself up. You gotta do something. You gotta play ball. Let's get out there and play some ball. And we did. And the Hard Rock Cafe, opening up a new cafe right on Hollywood Boulevard. I'd been living in Los Angeles for 10 years, so we're there. You know what I mean? We're part of the LA culture. We're there to help and be awesome. And hey, we're doing this cool thing. We're making the Hard Rock happen. And I'm rock and roll and I love music. And this is all working. All the experiences I had as a DJ and retail and music retail and suggestive selling and being in that spongy sort of absorbing where you're at and just being part of the team. That's what I walked into with the Hard Rock, going, yeah, go team, go corporation, go Hard Rock Cafe, go big money, go us. We're doing it. And because the deck of management and employees quickly got shuffled after a brand new opening, and a slew of different and unwelcome faces decided to darken the doorways of the Hard Rock Cafe Hollywood Boulevard. Yours truly got soured really fast because of the experience I was having. It was not fun. It was absolutely not fun. In fact, I remember a couple friends being shocked and surprised that I was so miserable and unhappy for the Hard Rock when I had pounded my chest going, yes, I have finally found something that I can sink my teeth into, that I'm good at, that I believe in some aspect. But the naivete was still there. And what was that naivete? That naivete was thinking that a big, chunky corporation like the Hard Rock Cafe that's been around for 30 years and has deep pockets and corporate cared at all, one iota, about my success, about the company culture, about how we treated each other. Oh, the Hard Rock Cafe had all this successories level kumbaya mottos that they constantly had. Oh, love all, serve all, and all is one, and save the planet, and all this jazz about we are here to do God's work, and we are here to treat everybody, and all is one, right? We're all love all and serve all. Yeah, love all and serve all except the employees that you have working for you. Don't serve their needs as people that want to make money and actually be a part of the Hard Rock. Just keep getting them in and getting them out like cattle. That's the way to love all and serve all, Hard Rock. Ooh, no, it was bad. It got just really bad. They brought in people that weren't committed. They brought in people that didn't care as much. And you're thinking to yourself, well, maybe you shouldn't have cared as much. No, wrong answer. I cared. That's what I was changing my attitude about, was to care about the place I was working for. That was an essential part of why I had to rethink my brain and try to get into a semblance of being happy with where I was working. Because all these shots that I was taking into the dark of just trying to survive on fly-by-night work was not making me happy, because nothing was making me land on my feet. So when I got to the Hard Rock, I thought, yeah, this is making me land on my feet. Yeah. No, it absolutely turned a card when they started shuffling the deck of management and getting some people in that were not cool, and it was not fun. Now, the fun thing is, I mentioned in the last episode, I made it sound like it was a nice, neat bow that I just wrapped up and said, thanks, Hard Rock, it's been fun, bye. Yes. Oh, absolutely, I walked out with no notice. Oh, God, no. Yeah, no, we didn't wrap it up in any bow. We said, you know what, I'm going to put in my last 2 weeks, but the last week of my last 2 weeks, I'm taking the vacation time I'm owed. And they somehow okayed it, but then they're like, you can't do that. And I'm like, the hell I can't. I'm doing it. And so I did it. And I also mentioned that I didn't talk to anybody else from the Hard Rock since. That is incorrect. Kimberly, I know you're out there. If you're listening, I'm sorry. We've still chatted here and there and everywhere. We still remember our good times at the Hard Rock, because she was one of the good ones. Daniel, I know you're out there. He went on to work at Red Robin. Red Robin. Yeah, he didn't stay. He wasn't Mr. Hard Rock. He was like, I'm a restaurant manager. And when they mistreated him too, he was like, bye, I've got a daughter to raise. Later, I'm not doing this. Right? Lydia, I haven't talked to in forever, but she was a good one too. But she also fell under that Hard Rock garbage. And then Cosmo's the other one that I talked to since, I've had lunch with him. He's a great guy. And those are like the few people out of all the people that I worked with, because everyone else sucked, or at least eventually showed their hand and showed their cards and said, I'm going to come in here with the best intentions, but after a while, I'm going to become your enemy. And they did. Oh, those managers. Oh, some of those employees, the worst. And I'll never let them darken my doorway again. But what am I doing there, right? I'm still there. I can't just quit with no plan or no money or whatever. What am I doing? What am I trying to... My brain is hurting at this point. I am going through therapy, trying to understand why this is causing me such strain and stress. Why am I having such a lifelong struggle with working and trying to be the good person and trying to work like a good person and putting in my best effort? This was the time. The Hard Rock definitely taught me a lot of lessons. One, this is when I was really noticing, and this is when I really caught on, that every job that I walk into the door doing, every job, so far, if you've noticed a pattern, it's not every job, but pretty much most of the jobs that I have had for any length of time, when I get in the door, if I want it and I'm pursuing it, I end up becoming some sort of management, or they give me responsibilities. They promote me in some way, shape, or form because I'm showing that I'm responsible. I'm showing up on time and I'm not calling out of work. I am being first one in, last one out if I have to be. I am dedicated to the job. I care. I care about what I'm doing, and it shows. And they always promote me. Doesn't matter where I'm going. They're like, oh yeah, get this guy a lead position or a supervisor position or whatever. If I want it, like the car warranty place, I didn't want to become a supervisor. Didn't last there longer than 3 weeks. That place sucked. Like, I didn't want that. So of course, but if I really wanted it, I was really dedicated into selling people crappy extended car warranties, and that was really, I got it, I was into it, and yeah, go team. Different story, but I was immediately like, no, this is not going to work. No, this sucks. I'm not, blah. Hard Rock, same thing. I was one of the first supervisors, walked in the door. When I wanted to become the stock manager, I was one of the most trusted people. Give him the keys, he's the guy to do it. Yeah. So that's a pattern I noticed. I also noticed, and this is where it's really starting to crack my skull and my brain is starting to hurt and throb. I don't trust corporations anymore. Big companies. Big corporate, GameFly, Best Buy, Musicland. They're starting to line up. There's starting to be a trail of the dead behind me going, this is not a good look. What is with all these big companies just being no fun, right? No fun. It was no fun. Phone company got to be no fun after a while. It just got to be tedious and awful and nobody cared. And, I'd heard horror stories of the people after I'd left. It got worse. Companies are not there for you. They're not going to be your friend. They're not going to lift you up as they proclaim to do. And, we're here for your success. The hell they are. They're there for a buck. They're there to make money. They're there to be a corporation. They're not there to be your best friend and see you through your kid's graduation and make sure that you succeed in buying your house. They don't care. They want to turn a profit. They're not looking at your income statement for the day. They're looking at their income statement for the day. It sounds like a bitter edge, but realistically, after so many times of dealing with companies and dealing with big corporations or companies that become big or whatever the case may be, story never changes. It hasn't changed for me, at least, in a long time. I don't know if it will. We'll get there. We have more podcasts to do. So I'm angry. I'm frustrated. Meanwhile, I'm also breaking up with I broke up with my then boyfriend. We were just friends. So it didn't work. And if you go back to the previous podcast, I'm taking this long string of losses. Few W's in between, but few and far between. And so I am just at the end of my rope. I'm angry. I'm bitter. I'm hanging out with this guy named Scott. He's a light he's just this light and this open brain of changing my perspective. What I'm doing right now is a bit of what he was doing to me, changing my perspective, hearing my woes and my tales of frustration and not knowing what to do in life and just being this wanderer and not having my, my flag planted on one thing and one thing only and being a lifer doing this thing. And maybe that's why Scott liked me, because I wasn't this corporate shill and this one job guy, and I was wandering the earth like he was. He was a wanderer. He was an angel. He brought me to all these things, and we went to yoga together. We were soon and quickly becoming really great friends. His husband Joe was great too. I mean, his circle of friends was great. It was just great. Friendship in the midst of working at this Hard Rock Cafe and hating it. And I remember sharing the devil's lettuce with him one day. We were in his Jeep. I was very frustrated, still working at the Hard Rock, and I was just angry. And I said, somehow the conversation came back to what I was doing with my job and what I hated about it and why I hated it and whatever the frustration of the day or the week that was coming out of my mouth to him. And I can't remember what he said, but it sparked me to say, why can't my day job be as fun and easy as baking cookies? And he said, well, there's your next job. Without missing a beat. He just goes, well, there's your next job. Now you're wondering, why did that come out of my mouth? Well, my brain went back to the time and place when I was working for the phone company, and even after that, where I spent every year around the holiday time baking cookies. Spending my days in the kitchen on my feet, 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours a day, just churning out the cookies. Music's bopping, ovens popping, we are making it happen. And psychologically, my brain just went to that place because it was a place of peace. It was a place of joy. It was a place of giving. I wasn't going to eat all those thousands of cookies that I was making. I was giving them to everybody. I made the cookies, everybody. Enjoy the cookies. Oh my God, the cookies. The joy on people's faces when I brought those cookies to parties and to work and as gifts, they just were over the moon. And my brain just went there. Why can't I just bake cookies? That's fun. Scott looked at me and said, well, there's your next job. And I immediately went on the defensive. What do you mean? Like, I was immediately knocking it straight out of his hand. Just being like, what? And just, again, diminishing it immediately. Wow, what am I going to be? Some crazy person standing on the corner just selling cookies? Is that what I'm going to do? I'm just going to sell cookies? Hey, everybody want some cookies? I've got some cookies that I made in some box. What? And he didn't, fight back or yell at me or anything, but it was this level of just like, well, take it or leave it. There's something there. You didn't say that just for fun. It came out of you. And it did. He was right. It came out of me like this angry, like, why can't life be baking cookies? Because baking cookies is fun. And I just let it sit in me. And I let it sit in me while I was working at the Hard Rock. And I just had this deep desire to get out. To get out of this loop I felt I was in. I was just taking these jobs to pay the bills because I was living in this fear bubble of just like not being able to pay the rent. I'm so scared. I got to pay the rent. I got to pay the bills. If I don't, someone's coming after me. And I was always the responsible boy. So I always wanted to make sure that I was trying to pay the bills and trying to pay my half of the rent, never having these weird conversations about money. And nobody likes that. And nobody likes it when somebody's short, and nobody's that. I don't like being that guy ever. It's not a fun place for me to be. It's not because I want to be rich. I just want to be responsible to myself and to other people if I need to be, financially. That's it. I mean, is that a confession? I'm not out here to be rich and loaded and more money, more problems. I mean, I've never met somebody who is like on some level, some crazy level of income that I can't even, I mean, I'm like, wow, that's money. And they have a separate set of problems that me, as I am and as I've grown up and as I've lived up until that point, I didn't want those problems and I didn't have those problems. I had a different set of problems, but mine were not those. So I just was angry because I just felt like I was continually doing this thing where I was working for a company, showing my best self, bringing my A game, being a company person, trying to bite in and going, yeah, I'm in. I love this. I'm buying into the game. Not biting in. I'm buying into the game. I want to play. Yeah. And by hook or by crook, something within the company, somebody at the company, the way the company runs or operates, shifts somewhere or change. The plates just shift. And it's not to my liking. I don't like it. It's not fun to be around. It's not. There's something just funky. It's, when you smell it, it's there. Like there's BS, something. I lose trust really fast. I start to look for the problems and they start to become way more apparent. And I'm in this ball. I'm in this wreck. I'm now single and just trying to mingle. I don't know what to do with my life. Once again, being scorned by a company that I invested, and I was mad because they did not invest back. They pretended to invest into me for the first year because I was bringing it in and making it hot. But after that first year and other people came in, those investments brought zero to no returns, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm just working and making as much money as I can. Because I don't know where I'm going. And I don't know what I'm doing. But it ain't this. And it ain't the Hard Rock. I can't do it anymore. But I'm stuck. I'm kind of stuck. I got to pay the bills. I don't have another job on the horizon. Well, what do you got to do? What am I going to do? I can't go crazy. I'm single. I don't want to be with somebody. I really don't. I need a break. I need time out to breathe. And one of the therapists said that to me about how I constantly felt like I was working for others and doing stuff for others and trying to help others, yet I was just falling apart. I just couldn't figure it out. And she said something, I had 3 female therapists in a row, and one of them said, she goes, you have to learn how to put your own oxygen mask on before you can put it on for anybody else. Because if the other people, you're trying to put on their oxygen mask and you're trying to help them, but they die because you're just not fast enough or you can't help them or whatever the case may be. And in the interim, because you haven't put your own oxygen mask on, you're out of oxygen, you die. You got to look out for number one. You got to put yourself first and you have got to get some oxygen, brother. Because you have been towing the line for all these jobs in all these places and you're not getting anywhere. It's not giving you the satisfaction and the happiness you deserve. I mean, they all understood my dilemma. They understood the financial, I got to still do something. But I didn't know what. But that little voice kept scratching. Little scratches at the back of my head. Hey, cookies, maybe cookies. I don't know, maybe. What does that mean, cookies? What am I doing with cookies? Up to this point, I was pretty good at these damn cookies. I mean, I made Christmas cookies by the batch, by the hour. I was 2,000 plus cookies a year and just doing it by myself over a couple of weeks and just knocking it out. In a home kitchen. And the reviews were in. These are so good. These are so good. Oh my God, I love these. I love those. They're amazing. Da 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 da. I had a ton of cookie books. Had a great blender. I have the Sunbeam Mixmaster that my parents got from their wedding. They still had from their wedding. Their wedding and the gifts that they got at their wedding. That's their original Mixmaster. And I had the skill. So it just started to gnaw at me while I'm working at this Hard Rock. I don't know. What are you going to do? What should you do? What you got to get to... So I started getting vision board ideas. I started getting... I got to do something. Now that I'm single and living in one room of the 2-bedroom apartment by myself and got all the privacy in the world, I can do whatever I want. Not worried about what somebody else does. Oh, is it okay if I do these things? Are we free on Friday night? Da da da. I'm single. I'm on my own. I'm working. I'm hating it. I'm getting as many hours as I possibly can, milking the Hard Rock Corporation while I'm being the stock manager. It's hard to do, but I'm somehow getting through it. Challenge. But what I also do is find a giant roll of brown craft paper while I'm working upstairs at the Hard Rock Cafe in the hallway where there's like 5 other doors. One day in the hallway, this giant roll of brown craft paper shows up. Like the type that you would put on the wall, and it's a huge roll and you'd have to pull off of it. It's that big. And I leave it there because I'm not the type to just, oh, look, one day it's there, I'm taking it. And then somebody's looking for it and they're like, who stole that roll? I saw it on camera, right? I let it sit there. Well, after a week, no one's moving that roll of paper. Well, I'm moving it inside the room, right outside our door in this hallway in the Hard Rock place. And I told my managers, I'm taking this home. It was sitting out here and I need it. Nobody flinched. Great. Threw that in my car. Took a giant roll of brown craft paper home. And it sat until the brain started getting the idea. And Scott helped and another friend named Jen helped. And they came up with these ideas of like, you should start creating a vision board. Well, I'm an art person. Give me a pen, a Sharpie, or a dry erase board, and I will paint the picture and draw it out and figure it out. Well, combining those things together, mixed with having this giant roll of craft paper and copious amounts of marijuana. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're in Southern California, ladies and gentlemen. I ain't going to fool around. The creativity with a fine sativa was flowing. And it did help my sleep because I hit a bout, no lie, not saying it just because it's like, I don't want to. Listen, I smoked weed, okay? When I moved to California, they handed you 2 joints and an avocado at the board and said, have a great time, kid. Welcome to California. We're not going to mess around here. So at the same time, I'm smoking plenty of weed. My friend Scott is helping me enjoy that. This is the time where you had to get a card and you had to like tell them that you had back pain. Giant wink, wink. And you paid $40 and you got a card and then you could go into dispensaries and get marijuana. Well, the side effect of marijuana, something that Kevin Smith once said, director of Clerks and other movies that we all know and love, he said, there's those dumb stoner types that just get high just to sit in front of their TV or play video games, and then they're wastoids. I make sure the weed that I smoke is designed to keep me going and creative and my juices in my brain moving. And when I smoke weed, I'm absolutely going to make myself productive. And I took that to heart because I was like, right. I don't want to be dumb stoner, right? I'm just not doing anything, man. I just want to sit around and, let's order some more pizza. That's not me. getting stoned and I'm cleaning my bathroom and I'm popping on some music and it's feeling good and we're getting things done. We're getting things done. That was my motto. If I was going to smoke weed, I wasn't going to be a wasteoid. I wasn't going to be like, calling into work to get high, or you know what I mean? Like I was like, no, I'm going into work because I want to get more work done. That's right. Not into coke. That was not I know what that can do to you, so that was not ever an option of getting things done by doing cocaine. Never an option. Weed, for whatever reason, the sativa blends that I was getting was like, man, popping my brain cells and going, yeah, here's an idea. Here's another idea. Let's move forward with this. Let's just write this down. And so my friend Scott gave me these ideas of just like, okay, put a thing of markers at the end of your desk and just write down ideas anytime. Put a pad of paper there or something. Well, I decided to paint my walls. I took everything off my walls in my bedroom to give myself a fresh start. And I covered the floor to ceiling. I covered it in brown craft paper. And I kept a bucket of markers at the end of my bed. And at the end of the dresser, actually. It was just sitting there, all these Sharpies. Love Sharpies. And my brain slowly but surely started to unravel to come up with any and all ideas I had to come up with a cookie business. Started with what I originally had said. I'm just going to be this guy standing on the street corner selling cookies out of a box. Is that what I'm doing? Hey, everybody's step right up. Get your hot, fresh cookies. I'm no health department needed here. I'm just selling cookies. Huh? And then it started to unwind and unravel. Of course, I started to think, well, what I got to do? I got to start thinking what kind of cookie, and start thinking about how many types of cookies am I going to do, and where am I going to start selling these cookies, or what kind of cookie business am I? Am I catering cookies? Am I showing up outside of restaurants to sell them after people leave because it's a dessert? Am I doing a cart? Am I doing like one of those hot dog carts or a dessert cart of some sort like they have? It just started to unravel. Any and every idea that I had popping in my brain about cookies. What kind of cookie? How big of the cookie? What the name of the cookies? The name of the business? Anything and everything that I could possibly think of, cookie-wise, came out of my head. That was like my salvation from the hard rock during this time. I was hating where I was working, but the minute I got off work and I hit the bong, woo! I was free. I got my headphones on. I put on some hot music and hot jams. It was bopping and just creating and just unspooling idea after idea after idea about what I could be doing. I came up with after hours bar cookies. I came up with cookies, just selling them in packs, making them more special than what you could get at the mall, right? You get the mall cookie, what is it, Mrs. Fields, or the Original Cookie Company, or whatever the cookie place is du jour in the mall today. I was like, how do I make that money? How do I make that business happen? How does this work? You have to understand, those who have not listened to this podcast, yes, I have not gone to business school. I'm not a business major. I'm not a business minor. I'm not an accounting person. I'm not a math person in the way of like business math. I can figure out the basics. I can tell you what to charge. I can tell you how much things cost. I just got to understand the business, right? But I'm a creative guy. Let me get ideas out of my head. Let me unspool everything that I can think of and muster up in a way to figure out, is there a way out of working for someone else that didn't care one lick about me. And the longer I worked at the Hard Rock, the worse it got for me. The worse that equation in my head just kept burning. I need to work for something or someone that cares. Well, I care about me. I care. I care so much that I want to reap the benefits of caring. That's what I want to do. I want to make my life better because I care enough and care deep enough that I can do it for me. And I don't have to rely on some corporate entity and some random fly-by-night manager that doesn't care about me. That all of it was just out the window, and it was just so peaceful to just come home and just hide in my room and, yes, absolutely enjoy some edibles and stay up late and bop to some Pretty Lights music and get it done and chase this possibility at this point. Because realistically, I wasn't even thinking about business licenses. I wasn't even thinking about what I was actually going to do with it yet. Completely, I was batting the ball around. I was throwing ideas up in a vision board, and I was trying to just suss it out. What is this thing going to be? Where is this going? What am I doing? I wrote all sorts of ideas. Could this be a cookie food truck? LA was bopping at the time with food trucks. Oh, maybe it's a cookie food truck. Maybe it's a dessert food truck of some sort. Let's figure that out. I mean, it was just market research to the nth degree. Where is this all going to go? Where am I going to take this cookie idea? I got to figure it out, right? If I want to get out of this Hard Rock trap and I got to make something happen in my life for me. And baking cookies seemed to be this happy place, this ball of happy that I was chasing because everything else that I'd left behind me had left a bad taste in my mouth, had left this scar of some sort. There are a few highs in between. There are these peaks of parts of where I was working in past jobs that there was some promise to yes, if I had that element of this job and this element of that job mixed with my passion for baking and the love that I get out of doing that, then the world is mine, right? Well, things start to really build. I go through two rolls I'm putting up fresh sheets of paper, pulling down old ones, getting all that information collected. I'm posting things online. I'm beating my chest. Hey, internet. Hey, new Facebook. Hey, we're still on MySpace, right? We're still on MySpace. Yeah, MySpace. Hey, LiveJournal. We're dying. No, we're not on LiveJournal anymore. Okay. Facebook. All right. Hey, internet. I'm doing this cookie. I'm trying to figure out this cookie thing. This is what I'm doing. Let's see if this works. Let's see where this goes. It'd be kind of fun, right? I mean, I'm really not liking where I'm at this Hard Rock thing, and this is what's really bothering me. And but it's kind of hamster in the wheel at this point. We're stuck at Hard Rock. We're just biting our teeth and chewing our gums, trying to get through that day by day. And I'm getting all this information and I'm trying to get somewhere with it. When all of a sudden, out of the blue, when I wasn't looking for a handout, I wasn't looking for any sort of help. I really didn't know what I was doing at the time completely. A little knock came knocking on the door via the internet by somebody that I had already met and I knew, but I had forgot was even there. Who is this magical person, you may ask? Why is this person knocking on my door to ask me questions and find out about this cookie food thing I'm doing? What's going on over there? Hey, what are you doing over there, mister, with this this food cookie idea that you seem really excited and jazzed about? Who's asking, you may ask? Well, you're going to find out on Monday. Oh, I know. I hate torturing you, but I can't give you it all. I can't give you all the answers. Not only on Monday are we going to talk about who knocks on my door during this time to investigate what I'm doing, but we're going to find out what did I do to finally take the leap out of the Hard Rock Cafe and find an interim job that is so spicy and weird that I can't believe I was at it as long as I was. But you'll find out why I was there and what was going on behind the scenes as I start to gain traction on what may become the promised land of getting out of a corporate job and a life and a loop that I've been hating for years and hating myself doing. Please turn in on Friday. I gave you a shorter one this time because, boy, if you got through my last podcast, thank you so much. It was a long one. We had to get a lot out about that Hard Rock Cafe, and I had to bring some into this one. I'm telling you, the Hard Rock was a brain cracker. But what the aftermath of that horrible experience only made things that much sweeter and better. So please tune in on Monday. We have so much more to talk about. We have dreams and goals that are going to be coming around the mountain. And I appreciate you listening and staying with me all this time. 35 episodes in. Woo, darlings. Are we gonna hit 50? I don't know. We have so much more to go, but it's gonna be wild. Thank you so much again for listening. Please subscribe, please like, please comment, please share. If you're here on the Apple Podcast Network or you're on iTunes, thank you for listening. If you're on the Podbean Network or Spotify, subscribe, share, like. Thank you so much for being here. If you're here on YouTube watching my beautiful face, be as gorgeous as it is every time. Thank you for watching. As I say it every week, and I'll say it again, sing along with me, everybody. Tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your brother, tell your sister, tell everyone. This has been New Job. Who dis?